Hey guys, it's Clinton Jeff from UnleashThePhones.com, and this is our long overdue review of the Nokia Lumia 800. Just to give you a quick idea of what the retail box contains, I'm just going to show you what's in there. Okay, you take that out, and you have a soft cover case, which is really hard to get on the Lumia 800, but even harder to get off. So if you're gonna put this on, it's gonna stay on for a while. So with that, it does protect the case, the phone a lot though. There's a couple information manuals right there on a quick start guide and basically things on how to use your new Lumia 800. And then there's the charger, which is basically a USB cable adapter and a somewhat below average 3.5 mm audio headset. Alright, so moving on, this is the Nokia Lumia 800. It's a pretty beautiful device, as you can see right there. Polycarbonate shell, 8 megapixel camera with dual LED flash. The polycarbonate shell is pretty good. It doesn't actually get scratched, but this little, you notice this little thing over here does tend to get scratched a little bit. This little steel part of the thing. Over here on this side, you have these 3 keys: a dedicated key, the screen lock key right there, and the volume keys. A little bit cheap quality, I would say. Not too bad, but it does annoy me a little bit. Some people have had a rattling issue with this key. Ours doesn't rattle so far. It's pretty okay. So our unit is fine. And at the bottom you have a speaker grill. Not too loud, but okay. And at the top you have this very strange system. I'm just going to show you that. Basically, you have to open that to use the micro USB port to charge the device connected to your phone. And in here you have your micro SIM card. This is a little bit annoying though, because I'm always afraid of breaking this little mechanism here. So I don't know how long that'll last. Luckily, the Nokia Lumia 900 doesn't have that, so that's a good thing. So yeah. Now specs include an AMOLED clear black display. You can see the blacks are very true right there. You can't actually see where the screen starts. The screen is definitely one of the best features of this phone. It's a 3.7 inch screen at I think it's 480 by 800 pixels with 252 ppi pixel density. It's pretty okay for a Windows phone. And there's a 1.4 gigahertz processor running all of this, so that's why it's pretty fast. As you can see right there, 500 MB of RAM and 16 GB on board. Unfortunately, there is no micro SD slot on the Lumia 800. I don't think Windows Phone supports that yet. I'm not too sure. But yeah, it runs Windows Phone 7.5 Mango, in case you were wondering. There's 3G that you can see right there. HSDPA. There's Bluetooth 2.1. with A2DP support. I showed you the micro USB cable. There's Wi-Fi, etc., etc. The camera, like I said, is pretty okay. For some strange reason, I don't think Nokia has been able to really use the algorithms in Windows Phone yet, because the camera quality isn't as great as it should be, considering this is a Carl Zeiss lens. The iPhone 4S, for example, takes a lot better pictures, but in theory this should take some better pictures, but so yeah, not my favorite camera. It does record video in 720p high definition, which is okay with autofocus. There's an accelerometer built in and a compass to help you use the maps, which I'll show you in a little while from now. There's a couple of Nokia specific applications that I can show you, like Nokia Maps and Nokia Drive and Nokia Music, which is also called Nokia Mix Radio, depending on where you're using it. And this is all powered by a 1450 mAh battery. Of course, the battery is notoriously bad on the Lumia 800. Nokia has said that they will issue a fix for users who are facing the battery bug. I'm one of those people. The battery runs out really fast on my device. Hopefully that bug fix will be released soon. But yeah, as of right now, it will barely get you through the day. Of course, I use my Lumia 800 on full brightness. It does take a little getting used to seeing the Windows key on a Nokia device. For me, as a Symbian user, ever since the first Symbian phone out there, this really does take a little getting used to. The key placements are pretty okay. You have the Windows key right there, the back key right there to go back to whatever you need to go back to. There's this Bing search key, which I've honestly never used apart from just to show you on this review video right now. It's okay. I'm not a big fan of Bing, so I have the Google app right there, the official Google app for my searching needs. One thing to note though is that the marketplace actually has quite a lot of apps now. The apps catalog is growing by quite a bit. I know a lot of people are complaining that there aren't that many apps on Windows Phone yet, but all of the essential apps are right there. They aren't the fastest apps out of all the operating systems right now, but it's pretty okay. My Wi-Fi is a little bit flaky right now, so nothing's going to load. So yes, basically you don't have as many apps as iOS or Android, but it is growing. All the essential apps are right there. Like I said, there's 4th and Mayor for Foursquare. There's also an official Foursquare application. There's Adobe Reader for PDFs, Amazon Kindle, a couple of India-specific apps right there, like Book My Show, BBC News, a whole bunch of stuff. That's just a quick look at what apps I have installed on my device. You can also skip right there to a different number. It's very nicely arranged. I definitely like that about Windows Phone. Of course, I've reviewed Windows Phone before in another video, so I won't go into detail again. But I will tell you what's new in the Nokia aspect of things. Like I said, there are some Nokia applications. For example, there's Nokia Maps, which I'll show you right now. Should take a little while to start up. So yes, that's Nokia Maps right there. It takes a little while to load. That's my location right now. Nokia Maps is pretty good. I've always been a fan of Nokia Maps and basically OV Maps. There's a little button which will show you popular places nearby. I will exit that for now. You can search for nearby venues if you are looking for a place. There's also different views like satellite view or public transport view, for example. And there's a couple other things in the settings menu which I'll show you right now. There's zoom controls. You can also use your location. You can turn it off if you don't want to remember your location. And basically to help Nokia. Right, so that was Nokia Maps. Like I said, very useful alternative to Bing Maps. I'm not a big fan of Bing Maps at all, actually. So I prefer Nokia Maps. Moving on, there's Nokia Drive, which is very useful to navigate you to wherever you're trying to get to. As you can see, it found me right there. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit, and there you go. So yes, Nokia Drive is very useful to navigate to wherever you have to go to. It's very easy. Basically, you have a 2D and 3D view. This is the 3D view. And you can set a destination for any place nearby. Like I'm just generically choosing New Delhi, India. It'll then find the destination that you're looking for, and then you can just navigate it with free turn-by-turn voice instructions like that. Let me show you if I could. So yeah, basically you just choose your destination right there. I like that animation where it jumps through things. And you just choose drive to. It'll then show you a brief idea of how long it'll take you to get there and how far away it is. And choose start. Right, so that is Nokia Drive. Then you can also zoom out of the map if you need to look at where you're going. There's also more options like a night view in case you want to see a night map. I prefer the day map. You can manage maps where you can download whole maps into your Lumia 800 for offline viewing. And you can also choose to show landmarks or not. Of course, there are some things missing. For example, you can't sync your saved OV.com or no, Nokia Maps favorites that you have saved over the years. Like I have a lot of favorites saved on my Nokia Maps online, which I can't see here. But it is a good effort, and no doubt it'll improve over the next couple of versions of Nokia Maps. Moving on, there's also one last thing, which is Nokia Mix Radio, which is also called Nokia Music. Now, unfortunately, this is region specific, so it doesn't work very well here in India yet. I'm sure Nokia will add it at some point, but right now I only have one station. But basically, the point of a mixed radio is that it will let you stream music online, and you can download any song that you want to your Lumia 800. Also, worth mentioning is that the Xbox Live integration is pretty good. You can have your little Xbox Live avatar right there and send friend requests and unlock achievements. Definitely very cool for gamers. Also worth mentioning is that I love the music player on Windows Phone. It's quite nice, and you can sync it with your Mac, for example, using Windows Phone connector, and it'll pull in all your playlists and basically everything. It's worth noting though that if you have an Indian account, you won't get the cool background album arts that you do with other accounts. I think it's a Microsoft problem or a Zune account problem, I'm not exactly sure. But basically, yes, media is pretty okay. It looks very pretty on the Lumia 800. To sum up everything, I love the Nokia 800, beautiful device. I just wish it had a front-facing camera, and I've had a little bit of issues with the pricing here in India. It's a little bit expensive, but it's a great phone. It's quite beautiful actually, especially all the animations. I love the People's Hub, which will keep you up to date to all things people related on your device. I like the Me Hub, which will show you notifications on your social networks. Depending on who's gone back to you, there's a nice little message icon right there, which will show you the number of messages you have. Basically, Windows Phone is quite fun to use. It's very fresh and solid. There are some problems though. For example, the notifications are a bit annoying. Of course, there are some bugs that need to be fixed. For example, if you check your email and then exit the email view, you won't be able to see any new emails that you haven't checked yet. There are some minor annoyances in Windows Phone, but it is a very solid experience. It's getting better with every day. I definitely recommend it for a couple people. Of course, Android and Symbian users might find it a little bit annoying to use. There are some disadvantages to the Lumia 800, for example. The screen, for one thing, is not as bright as the Nokia N9, but it is quite gorgeous. It's one of the best screens I've seen. Not the highest resolution, but very, very intense in terms of colors and true blacks. There's no flash in the web browser, which might be a deal breaker for some folks out there. I don't really mind it that much. One thing that I'm not very satisfied on is the multitasking in Windows Phone. You have this list over here of apps, and basically anything after this will just drop off. You're limited to just 6 apps. The fact that you are tied down to Zune might be a deal breaker for some people. You can't send images or anything by Bluetooth yet. There's no DivX support, which is a little bit annoying in this day and age. Again, I said no front-facing camera, and you can't use it as a USB mass storage mode. That's also a little bit annoying. And not a big deal for me, but you can't replace the battery because it's all one shell. So yeah, I guess I covered everything. Basically, the Lumia 800 is a great device. I can't wait for the Lumia 900 or 910 or whatever it's going to be announced soon. But yeah, that's about it. So as you can see, the Lumia 800 is a great little device. Lots of potential. No doubt in a couple months it's going to be one fantastic little phone. But yeah, check out the detailed review on unleashthephones.com for a better idea of what I'm talking about. And if you have any questions, do let us know in the comment section below.